Yes, hello friends, what's going on? I hope you're well. Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan, and I do hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. That's right, the twice daily series here on Football Therapy, where I reflect on what's being said in the headlines about Chelsea, aggregating, consolidating, collecting all the news / often nonsense regarding Chelsea Football Club, and I give you my opinion for whatever that's worth, but more learning English, more importantly asking for yours. Down in the comment section below. I cut myself shaving? Maybe. Anyway, today, Chelsea, of course, I gave an update since the upload yesterday as a pinned comment. Chelsea have purchased what is basically 100% of Strasbourg, the Ligue 1 side. So the multi-club model is well underway. We're going to reference how Chelsea are already taking advantage of that. Très intéressant. Also, some other options. Well, some big news in terms of what we're going to do. Other than the Nkunku, well, the signing of Nkunku, now pictured in the Chelsea shirt, by the way, some good news there. What are we going to do? Is it just him for a number 10? Because I tell you what, mate, if Gallagher goes to Borussia Dortmund and Mason Mount goes to Manchester United, of which we'll talk about both, and of course Kai Havertz is going to Arsenal, is it just Nkunku or bust? Do we turn to an alternative? Lots to get into, of course, so I thank you for joining me once again. Please do consider showing appreciation or that you like the content by liking the video, literally, as well as, you know, I was going to say it's metaphorically, but that's not right. Anyway, thank you for liking and subscribing. Let's get into it. A little bit of feel-good content to start off with. Have a look at this. Ding! There you go. There's our boy, Christopher Nkunku. Salut mes amis, c'est moi, Christopher. Je suis très content avec mon nouveau équipe, Chelsea dans Londres. Oui, oui, oui. Yeah, there he is in a Chelsea shirt. I mean, the amount of edits we've seen is pretty accurate. You know, feeling good though. That's posted by Chelsea's official social media. Of course, very, very exciting times indeed. New manager Mauricio Pochettino will get his feet officially under the desk in a matter of days, in about a week's time. Of course, let's not kid ourselves. He has been working in the background. He has to have had like loads of conversations. That's what different reporters, journalists, broadcasters are saying, and I am inclined to believe them. So, what? Guan. Well, let's tell you. Nizar Kinsella is reporting that Kai Havertz's medical is this weekend, which is, you know, either tomorrow or the day after, and he could be announced on Monday. Kai Havertz to Arsenal Football Club is done. By the time it is announced, we should have shaken off the residual yuckies and just been like, yeah, fine, no worries. We got good money for him. It looks like it's going to be £67 million, all things considered. You know, what's that? That is £15+ million more than what we bought Christopher Nkunku in, who is in scintillating goal-scoring form. You know, he can play all over the gaff in terms of position. I know in theory Kai can do that as well. But many people, and maybe this is just trying to think positively, but, you know, right now you'd be inclined to think we've upgraded on Kai Havertz with Christopher Nkunku. You know, so, merci Yannick, tu es très gentil. Yes, so we've upgraded, but also paid less, sort of made money, if that makes sense, £15 million. And in these turbulent times of financial fair play, that's good. So Kai Havertz is one number 10 down. We're going to call, well, even though he'll play as a number 8, but let's say someone who can play in this number 10. Mason Mount is the next number 8 / number 10, but would be playing in the number 10 in Pochettino's 4-2-3-1. Mason Mount wants to go to Manchester United. He's made it clear to Chelsea he will not sign a new deal. Now, that quite easily looks like he can make him the enemy in this scenario. I would be mindful to do that. You know, I have on good authority he's not been treated well, and this guy doesn't dislike Chelsea. Mason Mount loves Chelsea. Anyway, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because we've done it to death, and I know people have different opinions, so why stick on the controversy when I can assert factual, actual things happening? Chelsea have received a bid worth £55 million from Manchester United. Chelsea want £65 million. I reckon this gets done for £55 million plus 5 million add-ons. So up to 60. And yet everyone should ultimately be happy. I mean, many Chelsea fans won't be happy if someone told you, the season, after we won the Champions League, in about a year's time, you're going to sell Mason Mount to Man United for £55 million plus 5 add-ons. That you'd be like, your mind would be blown. Or even the season after, when he got like double figures for goals and assists in the league and player of the season again and all this kind of stuff. If someone told you that, if someone said in a year's time you're going to sell your player of the season, who got all these goals and assists, who lives and breathes Chelsea, you're going to sell them for that much, you just wouldn't believe them. But here we are. Football's a strange thing, isn't it? It's a strange, funny old thing, football. And, it's a blessing and a curse to follow it. So, we'll see what happens. I'll, of course, keep you updated on whether Mason Mount goes to United. But I reckon there's about an 85% chance he goes. Even though Pochettino likes him. But what are you going to do? So, hold on. Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, 2 high-profile boys that could have played in that number 10 striker role behind Nicholas Jackson. Possibly. I'm going to stop doing that song. So what does that make you think? Well, that's fine. We got Christopher Nkunku. Oui, c'est vrai, c'est moi. We've got him. It's going to be okay. This dude, what if he gets injured? What happens? What, do you put Raheem Sterling in there? I think Carney Chukwuemeka might well still go on loan. Even, Pochettino might like him. There's a huge ceiling there. Let's respect him. I think someone rightly commented on either, I forget whether it's an Instagram or YouTube comment. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at FootballYannick. About how I shouldn't forget about him, and that person was right to remind me, because Chukwuemeka is a huge talent. He probably is slightly closer to be honest, he's probably more of an offensive 8, a bit like Mason Mount and Kai Havertz in many ways. Although Kai's a bit more of a forward. I think there's still a chance he'll go on loan. And a loan with no option to buy, because Chelsea do rate Carney Chukwuemeka very, very highly. So, that leaves one boy. One sweet blonde-haired boy who looks like he's out of the 90s boy band. And that is, of course, Conor Gallagher, who himself has been, recently going on record talking about how he loves Chelsea, wants to stay at Chelsea, wants to work under new coach Mauricio Pochettino. Of course, he is an England international, getting loads of caps in terms of sub appearances off the bench. Southgate turns to him. He's still very young. You feel like he'd get opportunities to continue, provided playing at the high level, continuing playing at the high level. Now, he's been linked with Borussia Dortmund. Now, in terms of England, you don't need to fear maybe not featuring, because Jadon Sancho was like a starter for England when he played for Borussia Dortmund. It's only when he went to Manchester United that he stopped getting called up to the squad entirely. You think about that, Mason Mount. Yeah, you think about that. I don't know. I think Mason's probably quite safe. Look, Conor Gallagher was being linked to relegato teams such as Everton. And he didn't want to go. He didn't want to go to Everton. And I kind of get that, brother. And, we shouldn't have tried and make you go. And we didn't in the end. He stayed at Chelsea. But Borussia Dortmund is a whole other kettle of fish in terms of, even if, we don't want to talk about the superstar Erling Haaland that was there, but, Jude Bellingham's just gone for £88 million to Real Madrid. Jadon Sancho went for 75 or 78 million pounds to Manchester United. At the time, high-profile moves, Surely an advisor to Conor Gallagher will be going, look, mate, this is not Everton in a relegation fight. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he could be tempted. Now, Court of Side are reporting that Borussia Dortmund have concrete interest in Conor Gallagher. He's a, quote, realistic target. Realistic target. Would I cry for Conor Gallagher? Not overly. If someone said to you, would you prefer to keep... Okay, so Mason Mount's going. Would you prefer to keep Conor Gallagher? I'd say, yeah, probably. Someone who knows the club, someone who works hard, has no issue with high-octane Premier League football, who's got scope for development, who would seemingly be a player that new manager Mauricio Pochettino would like. I don't know, man. Like, if he goes, we're gonna need another number 10. Is what I'm alluding to here. So let's talk about that. I did on my Instagram, again, referencing my Instagram, I did a story. I mean, I'm yet to see the poll. I'm going to do it, look at it live now on this video. I asked, look, if Conor Gallagher's going out the door with Mason Mount and Kai Havertz, we've only got Christopher Nkunku for a number 10. Would you consider getting Joao Felix back to Chelsea? Because he did love being at Chelsea, Joao Felix. He loved London. He did score like 4 goals, Premier League goals, in not ridiculous amounts of minutes. 70% have said yes. Wow. Okay, that's substantial. I was expecting 50-50, and actually the votes that I put on were 70% yes, he loves Chelsea. Because he seemingly liked, I mean, whether he loved Chelsea, he loved being in London and playing at Chelsea. He wanted to stay, and he kept saying that. And then no, he doesn't work hard enough, which is kind of true to a degree in terms of off the ball work. You know, Frank Lampard saw that and didn't really utilise him, and he turned him into sort of an impact sub with a lot of skill. Kind of actually worked into off the bench. Pochettino loves really hard workers. Is he going to want Joao Felix? Of course, Joao Felix played for Diego Simeone, which is terrible, terrible, very good at his finest. And maybe you can find a way to like dig in and you know, work really hard for Pochettino. Maybe. Of course, Chelsea would have to pay a lot of money to sign Joao Felix, and then suddenly you've got 2 really high-profile number 10s there. Again, had we been in Europe, you'd have got more options because one come to the bench, one could start midweek, But I think more than ever would want continuity. I want to put out to you guys, let me know what you think about this number 10 situation. If Mount and Gallagher follow Havertz out the door, do we sign anyone extra? Or do we like play Raheem Sterling in the 10 and then on the left you play Mudryk and then Madueke on the right? Or because we've suddenly gone from a lot of attackers to like, because we're playing 4 attackers now, not 3. It's like we've sold a bunch and we're playing a system with more attackers. So we're going from one radical extreme to another. Let me know down in the comment section. I'll be interested in learning your thoughts. Alright, so we spoke yesterday about Chelsea being investigated, but I also referenced how Chelsea have bought Strasbourg, the side in League A. Fabrizio Romano has tweeted this: Strasbourg are now one of the options for David Datro Fofana's loan move from Chelsea this summer, confirmed as L'Equipe called. Chelsea are considering the possibility, but the player also has options, and the decision will be made in the next few days. Right, now of course David Datro Fofana is Ivorian, to be French speaking, Strasbourg's in Ligue 1. It's the perfect loan for him. Now, he's come from Molde, the Norwegian league. That's not a top 5 league. In fact, that's probably quite a far way down. So, an opportunity to go and have a loan in Ligue 1, score a bunch of goals in, you know, a top 5 league and look good, and then be considered either to sell on for profit or indeed maybe get brought in. Though it does look like we'll have 2 young strikers already going neck and neck in the form of Armando Broja and, of course, Nicholas Jackson, should he come through the door, which is looking more and more likely. But already and immediately it is paying dividends that Chelsea are creating this satellite club model, the multi-club model. And we bought Strasbourg for like less than the price of we sold Kai Havertz for, which is testament to, it's just really being, I don't even think it's the money, because the Premier League is so much money. Like, you know, Bournemouth could probably buy like a top 5 league club somewhere. And maybe they have done. I know Brighton have they? Anyway, I digress. It's about putting the work in and, you know, systemically grafting to get your players out there, generate revenue, develop players, etc. Anyway, there's lots and lots to obviously keep going and talking about. There will be another video later today. Chelsea are working very, very hard to sign Moises Caicedo. Again, there's been multiple updates on that. He is the player Chelsea want. Chelsea want, and he ultimately only wants Chelsea at this point. Should Arsenal get pipped to Manchester City pip Arsenal to Declan Rice, I do fear that they'd come in really heavy and just slam all their Declan Rice money on Moises Caicedo, which would be a lot, and that would maybe be too much for us to handle. We'll have to see, but I'll be interested in learning. Alright, let me know what you think. Comment down below. I'm going to be reading the comments. I will upload later, so turn on the bell when you subscribe. Thank you for your continued support, and I'll see you very soon. Peace.